Hi, everyone. I'm back with another question for the day. And that question is, do you wait for your path to be clear so you can step forward, or do you step forward so you can create your own path? I'm Diana Alexander again with Diana Alexander Consulting LLC. And I'm here with another question for leaders or anyone who thinks they are a leader, wants to be a leader, uh, however you define leader. No matter what your area of expertise, or maybe you don't have an area of expertise, but you just have aspirations. But that question again is, do you wait for the path to be clear before you step forward? Or do you step forward and create your own path? Now, I know these questions should have somewhat obvious answers, but I think if we're honest with ourselves, we'd say that most of us wait for the path to be clear before we step forward. We want to make sure everything is in alignment. I can't do anything until I get my education. I can't do anything until I get that degree. I can't do anything till I pay off those bills. I can't do anything until fill in the blank. We want the path to be clear. We want to have as few obstacles as possible. We want the path of least resistance. And that's a normal feeling. Of course, it would be great if everything was laid out. I wish when I cook, I had someone who could be my sous chef. Actually, I used to have that between me and my husband, but I don't anymore because he passed away. But it would be great if somebody could come in and just put everything in the little cute little bowls and have it all there for me, and I can just go boom, 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 put it away, put it in the oven or on the skillet or whatever you're going to do with it and cook it. But that's not how life is. Life is not like that. Usually the path does not become clear. We have to step in order to create our own path. And it reminds me of the Bible story of the Hebrew children when they had left Pharaoh in Egypt and they were headed for the promised land, and they ended up at the Red Sea. And in front of them in the sea, and then all of a sudden behind them, they see Pharaoh's army bearing down on them, and they felt like they had nowhere to go. Because forward, they go in the sea and drown, and backwards, they either get killed or they get taken back to Egypt and put into slavery again. So they felt they had no option. Well, they did have another option, and that was to go ahead and step forward to create the path that they needed to walk down. And that was taking that step of faith into the Red Sea. The Red Sea then parted, and they walked across on dry land and were saved from Pharaoh's army. That is a lesson for all of us, even as leaders. And especially if you aspire to become one, that often you can't wait for the path to be clear. You've got to step forward and create your own path. I used to teach this class, and several of us taught it, called Creating Your Career, where we were really teaching people to kind of look at their organization and see where the gaps are and find out something that you can create to fill in those gaps. And people were doing that, and jobs were being created that did not exist on the books before, because people identified a gap, showed how they could fill the gap, and how that was a job that was needed. That is an example of how you can step forward in order to create your own path. And we need to learn how to do that as leaders. We can't wait for the path to be easy. Often it's going to be rough. But if we step forward, then often that Red Sea parts and we can walk across on dry land. And it doesn't mean it's going to be easy to walk across that dry land. There may be rocks there. There may be little holes there. There may be other things that cause us to trip and stumble. But as long as we get to the other side, we've created a path. And the beauty of it is, we don't just create a path for ourselves. We create a path for those who are coming behind us, because now they can see where they thought there was no way, no path, no road. There is one, because we stepped forward in faith and we created it. So leaders, don't wait for the path to be clear. Step forward and create a path. And if you need help, reply. Send me a message. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss together where it is that you feel you need to create a path in order to fulfill what you think is your divine purpose. And I think we could do that together. In the meantime, I am Diana Alexander Consulting LLC, and I'm out.